Stephanie Colley, and I'm in Mr. Hammond's class, and
We're going to talk about
child labor.
A Gilded Age, what it means is it was the era, like it was cheap metal that is gold plated, shiny and beautiful on the outside but rotten on the inside. One of the ways it changed America was that prior to the industrial age, production of products was organized by crafts. Individual crafters designed and produced each individual product. With the invention of the steam engine, power was made available on a massive scale, and it was possible to have larger number of workers in one place, and each of those workers would perform a small part in a whole process. Each worker needed fewer skills, and they would be paid less money per item.
Big businesses where railroads were the first railroad spurred industrial growth by giving manufacturers a cheap way to transport. Second, the railroad created hundreds of thousands of new jobs for both railroad workers and miners. Third, the railroads boosted England's agriculture and fishing industries. Finally, by making travel easier, railroads encouraged country people to take distant city jobs. Banking, many new banks started formulating as a result of capital. After seeing the industries can result in a profit. Merchants, retail merchants, farmers, wholesalers, and others then wanted to invest. The banks that were formed usually did not directly invest in factories and industries, although they were a few short-term loans to industrialists so they could cover their operating expenses. The money given from banks was used to buy new equipment or to improve the current equipment and to overall expand on the factories.
Laborers were behind the railroads that stretch across over 3,000 miles of the continent. The steel rails that provided the tracks, the skyscrapers that dominated the city skylines, the textiles that clothed the Western world, and the coal and oil that fueled a transportation revolution. Child labor was during the Industrial Revolution, children as young as 4 were employed in production factories with dangerous, often fatal working conditions. Based on these understandings of the use of children as laborers, it is now considered by wealthy countries to be human rights violation, and it is outlawed, while some poorer countries may allow or tolerate child labor. While child labor can also be defined as the full-time employment of children who are under a minimum legal age.
Children as young as 3 were put to work. A high number of children also worked as prostitutes. Many children and adults worked 16-hour days. As early as 1802 and 1819 Factory Acts were passed to regulate the working hours of workhouse children in factories and cotton mills to 12 hours per day. Children also worked as errand boys, crossing sweepers, shoe blacks, or selling matches, flowers, and other cheap goods. Some children undertook work as apprentices to reciprocal trades, such as building or domestic servants. There were over 120,000 domestic servants in London in the mid-18th century.
An estimated 1.7 million children under the age of 15 were employed in American industry by 1900. Over 2 million children in the same age group were employed in the United States. I think we're done.
Yeah.